Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. As you might have guessed from the title of this video, we have been to a local, I'm going to call it a swap meet because that's what most of these events are called, but it was our old club actually, that I was a member of for like 20 odd years. We went up to their bring and buy, but it's a bring and buy that's held on an auction format. So all the lots get put through, auctioned up on the stage, blah blah blah. We went with the intention of buying absolutely nothing, didn't we?
We didn't buy absolutely nothing though.
Yeah, I thought I'd best take some cash with me just in case there's something that we couldn't let slip by. And there was. Here are said items. I'll bring you into so you can see them in a bit better. But basically, this is an Oa. It's a piece of rocking horse poo now because they don't make them anymore. This is a Zenoa 38. For those of you that know your Zenoas, you know that they're brilliant engines and they have, for some reason, which I'm still trying to find out why, have stopped making them. This one is quite literally brand new in its box. There isn't a mark on it. It has been a little damp somewhere because the prop nut bolt,
Yeah.
the bolt that holds the prop on has got a little bit of surface rust on it, but nothing major at all. So these engines, I seem to remember, were something like 260 quid or
$2.95.
the best part of 300 quid when you could buy them last. And this one's also got the carb bend kit. So you're over 300 quid's worth when you could get them. And we paid how much for this?
£95.
95 quid. Okay. I couldn't let that go at all. I just couldn't. I haven't got an airplane to put it into right now, but
I'm sure we could acquire one.
we will have something to put it into at some point. I just couldn't let that slip through my fingers. There's a friend of mine who I think was bidding me up, because I think the bidding started at like 20 quid or something, didn't it? And there was nobody interested whatsoever. But I think he was bidding it up because he knew what a bargain it was. I would have paid a fair bit more for it because you can't get them anymore. So yeah, that was the first bargain. So that's going to be basically boxed back up, put over in the corner for a rainy day when we need a 38. Now the other buy, which you can see lurking on this bench, let me just put this away. Stick that over there. So the other item on this bench, this bigger item, had no intention buying this whatsoever. And it's a Robbie Puma 40. It is a brick. It weighs an absolute ton. It's got some sort of plastic or fiberglass fuselage. It is in a relatively sorry state looking at it, but it's solid. It's nothing I don't think drastically wrong with it. So the plan with this, it came with an engine. Everything you see here, it came with. As it sits, the bidding started at £5
Yeah.
for the complete airframe. I think it got to 20 quid. And I was like, even if we only get a couple of flights out of it, for 20 quid, it's going to be a bit of fun. And it's going to be a bit of fun trying to get it flying and get it ready for flying. I don't know what size the engine is. I'm guessing it's a 40. I know it's an OS Max engine and it's got a 10x6 prop on it. So I'm assuming it's a 40 or an over-propped 35. If it's a 35, we might struggle to get this flying at all because it's just not going to have the power to lift the weight of this. But what we're going to do, probably in upcoming videos, is not strip this down, but go through it with a fine tooth comb and fix everything that we need to fix to get it to fly. What I'll do is I'll bring you in a bit closer and I'll show you the things that I've noticed already that we need to address. Okay, so it's generally in not too bad a shape for an old aeroplane. I said the engine seems to turn over quite freely given that it's probably not run for a good while. And so you can't really get in and see. Somewhere down there it says the size of it, but I can't actually get in and see what size it is. But I'm guessing it's a 40. Again, no great shakes. fuselage is pretty damn solid. You know, it's thin as well, so I think it is plastic. I don't think it's fiberglass. I mean, looking in,
There's one thing I've just noticed.
what have you just noticed?
It's loose.
It's loose, or the whole thing's twisting?
Look in there.
What are we looking at?
How the paint's separating.
Okay, well, we'll have to actually see if that is moving or if it's just twisting. It could just be the paint's cracked rather than... It doesn't feel as though it's moving too much. It's possibly even... Yeah, it's the fin that's come away.
Oh, right.
I can actually squeeze in the fin. You can see it moving. But as long as the tailplane is solid underneath, I can actually feel a lot of glue underneath there. Yeah, there's a fair bit of glue being put in there. So we can go over that and possibly run some more super glue into it to make sure that stays there. That's obviously going to be a weak point from the design. I mean, the whole fin itself is pretty solid. There's feels like there's a stern post in there.
What's that?
It's a post that runs up the back of the fin.
Oh, I would have thought so. Thought so. Even if it's just at the hinges.
Yeah, there's going to be something in there. So, what have we got? Well, obviously we've got a fuel tank, which is an unknown quantity. Look at the age of these servos. Acom servos. I can't actually remember ever flying with an Acom servo. I had them in model cars. And these IC servos, the TK SO3s, I think they were like early in my flying career. They were like budget servos from Perkins. I think even Maplin sold them. But yeah, in general, it's not too bad. We are going to have a look at this. Make sure it's still solid in there, because I think somebody's just thrown epoxy at it. Now, one thing that we have noticed is with the elevators, this one's relatively solid on its control push rod.
This one's relatively not.
And that one's not. And what's happening is, if you can see down here, don't be able to see, the push rod itself is staying stationary, but the outer is moving, so the whole thing's got so much play in it. Now, the way that it is, the direction that it's moving, that's going to blow back. When you pull up elevator, if that was the neutral position, as soon as you pull up elevator, it's just going to blow back from it. So the plan just now is to somehow get a bucket load of epoxy in the back here and just hold it in place, but still allowing the push rod to move. One of the problems is there isn't much space in there. We might even have to do something with this. The wing, again, it's pretty solid. It needs a servo put into it and some push rods made up. But I think in general, it's a fairly sound airframe for 20 quid.
The engine alone's probably worth that much.
Even if the engine's only worth a tenner. If we can get 20 quid worth of fun out of it, that's the main thing. Yeah? So, not tonight, because it's getting on a bit just now. But what we're going to do, we're going to go through it all and piece by piece try and get it sorted, try and get it working, and at the next opportunity, get it flying. So that'll all be in another video. But I thought we'd just bring this video to you as what we got at the Swapmeet video. If you got any information on the Puma, I know my dad had one, but I don't know if he flew it. I think he said he flew it.
Well, you said to me that they're heavy, but they fly well heavy, from what Pop said.
Yeah, so I think he has flown one or had one. But if you've got one or flown one and you know the details of it, like things like CG, I'll just be guessing at the CG, to be honest.
About
Yeah, 25% of the wing, maybe 30% of the wing chord. Yeah, somewhere about there. And we'll go from there. So, yeah, that'll all be coming up in another video. We've got a couple of other things that I want to film. I don't know what order the videos are going to go out in. But yeah, we've got plenty of things to be doing. The weather, unfortunately, is drawing in a bit now. It's getting to that time of year. So we are going to be spending more time in the workshop, getting things ready, building, repairing, generally faffing around with stuff that we didn't need to buy. But hopefully that means more content for yourselves. But as usual, if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. It's very much appreciated. It makes the YouTube robotic stuff do its thing. If you're liking what we're doing, give us a thumbs up. And if you tick the notification bell, you get told when we put a new video up. But from you and myself for just now, we'll see you later.
Bye.